Welcome to Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous. I'm Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo, your host. It's Sunday night, just 2 short nights after the Gamescom presentation by Cloud Imperium Games, Chris Roberts, and the rest of the crew that works on Star Citizen. And in that wonderful presentation, we learned about where Star Citizen was going to be going over the next few months. Now, for the next few minutes, I want to talk about where it's going immediately with the release of 2.5, which should be coming any day now. This is the Reliant Core. It's made by MASC, and it is the starter cargo vessel. For those fledgling cargo pilots that want to start a shipping empire, this would be the first ship that you'd want to add to your fleet. It's pretty wonderful, and let me show you about it for just a few minutes. Now, I want to talk from the perspective why you might not want this ship first. It's not the best fighter in the game, and right now there tends to be a desire to have the best fighter because that's the part of the game that's implemented right now. But what this ship does do right is it gets you started on that cargo career. Maybe making short hops between planets inside of a star system, or maybe from a starbase down to planet side. It does take a little bit getting used to the width of the spacecraft when it's in this mode, or the height of the spacecraft when it's in the vertical mode. But once you get used to it, it is fairly easy to fly, as long as you're not flying it through tight spaces, like these asteroids. I might show you, I might not show you, but as you get closer to them, it's very easy to clip a wing. Now, the Reliant Core, I'd have to say, is probably not my favorite starter ship right now, but I own one nonetheless because I can't wait to help Marcus and the Colonial Movers on their beginnings in the PU when they start their shipping empire. Now here, we're going to try out the new landing system. Now to enact the new landing system, all you do is tap the N key. Now you hold down the button to ask permission to land. And that could be any button that you assign, but in this case on my HOTAS, it's my button 2 on my joystick. I've been given permission to land over here, so as I approach the landing field, you'll notice another message come up in just a few short seconds. There it is. And it tells you to hold N to auto land. So I can land myself if I want to, but in this situation, I'm just going to hold down the N key, and it's going to bring it right down to the pavement. Pretty cool. Now, I expected the weapons on this to be inside the wings. It would have made sense. And the reasoning for my thinking that was that when it goes vertical, then it's not on one side of the ship. It'll kind of make it easier for you to aim. Well, there still are some issues with the graphics here because evidently we've got transparent aluminum here. That is an amazing feature. Look at it. It's like having a huge sunroof that nobody knows is there. Pretty cool. There will be some graphical glitches in this because it is the PTU, the Persistent Test Universe. It's just an amazing ship, and I've done this walk around before, and I'm liking it a lot. Now, one other thing I'm trying to highlight here, and you'll see in other parts of this video, is how they've upgraded the lighting. Upgrading the lighting inside of version 2.5 has made everything have this ultra-realistic look to it. Everything just pops and feels better. Reflections, the way they come off of things, except inside here, of course, but the way reflections work, the way things look, shadows work, everything just seems to be better. So much better than that first time that I stepped into the Persistent Universe, the hangar module, way back in 2013. All right, now watch. We've made it up. Then we go into the vertical mode, and we're ready to go. You can see where I'm going to have some issues with this. Oop, there's another glitch. A lot of them have a script that runs that when you take off, the back will automatically close, but I guess that's something that you're going to have to remember to do here. So I'm going to take this over towards some of the... Yeah, let's go towards some of these asteroids, and then we'll have some fun. So I've skipped ahead just a few minutes, and we're going to just crash into this a little bit over here. Try to get through some of these really, really, really tight spaces, and oop, see, very hard. See that? It's very hard to actually see where you are, and we took the wing off. Now, we're still alive. I don't know what we're venting into space. It could be atmosphere, but that doesn't matter because we left our door open. So obviously, we're just using the atmosphere inside of our spacesuits. Well, that's the preliminary look into the Reliant core. Let's take a look at what they've done in the hangar. All right, we are in the, I guess this would be the deluxe hangar. The first thing that you're going to notice is the lighting in here is just amazing at this point. It makes everything pop just a little bit better. It's so much better than that first time that I've seen it. But there are some other things going on. You'll see some graphic glitches every now and then. And just to give you an idea of my particular computer specs, it's an AMD Vishera 9370 running at 4.7 gigahertz. It's got an ultra high-end cooler on it. I have an NVIDIA 970 by EVGA. I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I've got a Samsung EVO, whatever, SSD, and Windows 10 running. So what I'm doing right now is putting out the second flyable ship that's in the game, and it's the Argo. You have the Argo Cargo and the Argo MPVU. Multi-person, I guess it's called MPVU. MPUV? I think it's MPUV. Multi-person utility vehicle? Multi-purpose utility vehicle. It is a short hop ship with no jump drives, no quantum drives. It's essentially made to go from ship to ship, ship to station, station to land. It's essentially your very small shuttle. Again, lots of graphical glitches that I'm sure they'll clean up for release. But this ship, which you'll see in just a few minutes, is actually pretty fun to fly. Pretty amazing. Can't wait to see what uses we could all think about for it. I could see it coming out of a bigger ship and like maybe a drop ship for delivering some Marines or some armed combatants to take over a small place. Let's go over and see how good of a utility vehicle this ship could be. Let's bring up our Grey Cat. Let's take a look and see if I have my other Grey Cat. No, I don't. So let's just turn around and go take a look. Oh, we got to go open that one. So let's go take a look inside the two different variants first. This is the personnel carrier. And inside, you'll see it has, I believe it's 4 seats on each side. It is. It's 8 seats, so it's an 8-person utility vehicle. So personal transport, maybe, I mean, that's 2 squads of Marines, right? Not too bad. Lots of space in here, just for very short trips again. Think of it like a space taxi. And then over here, of course, we have the cargo version of it. So let's go inside. That puts us right in the one drop seat that's in here. Let's go to the back of this ship. There has to be a way out of here, right? Nope, not there. I think it's off to the side, right? Oh, there it is. Okay. And now let's run down here. Take a look inside there. Pretty cool, right? Just get an idea. Yeah, we might fit a Grey Cat in there. Might need to grease the sides of it a little bit. Nope. Let's go back and run. Run, 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 run. Come on. And we're going to get into my Grey Cat. Grey Cat strut. Sorry, guys. I won't sing again, I promise. No, I don't. And here we go. And they've made the Grey Cat drive so much better now. So, ooh. We hit something big on the floor. Okay, let's get it going. Now rev it. Go. Go. You can fit it. If you go really fast, we can fit it. Go. Go. Nope. Let's try it again. Just Try. Ooh, come on. Go. Oh. Oh. Let's just get out. And that satisfies the question of, will it fit? No, it doesn't fit. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll leave that mess for somebody else. Let's take a look and see how this thing flies. And with a snap of my fingers, here we are at Port Olisar. And over here is my multi-person utility vehicle, all ready for 8 people to go for a ride with me. Let's get into the seat. This is the first flight I've ever made in this ship, so I'm hoping I figure it out real fast. It's not too hard to fly these ships. They all kind of fly the same way. It's got this big HUD, this big heads-up display that looks like it's a reinforced glass shield in front of you. It does sport shields, but no weapons. It's not supposed to have any. And it is quite maneuverable. Well, it should be. Oh, we just saw someone down there. Alright. Let's just go on a nice little run around over here. And take us for a little bit of a ride. So the purpose of this ship is not going to be realized in the game at this point. And you can tell that the netcode is really being stressed with the numbers of people that are playing the PTU right now. The netcode is what's at fault for the bad frame rate that people are having inside of the PU, inside of Star Citizen Alpha 2.4 and 2.5 and eventually 2.6. That will not be fixed until version 3.0 comes out, when their new StarNet, I think that's a new name for the code, is released. Now until then, we'll be dealing with frame rates that I think you could see it in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. It's at 17, 16, 15. And really, that's about all I get inside this session. There were sessions that I played that were much earlier in the day, where I was getting in the 30s and 40s, but as the servers start to fill up, as the netcode starts to get stressed, the frame rates start to drop, making it almost impossible to use. So at this point, all I'm doing is trying to figure out where I bound a couple of keys. And of course, a lot of this has changed, which is why I'm leaving it up here. So when you do start to play, because many of the key presses, for instance, F was always to activate and get yourself into a seat, and Control F, I believe, or Alt F, was to get out. Now F toggles you into the seat, or up a ladder, or into a chair, and holding the F key again will get you out. That's important, because if you had your keyboard set up, or if you had your HOTAS set up to do the other function before, it's going to need to be reset in this version of it. So do be very mindful of the things that are different in this particular version of the game. Alright, back to flying again. So we're going to take it back towards the station. We've now figured out how to take it out of the landing mode, which is just tapping the N key. I was looking for the old key that I had set up for that, and it's just tap the N. N puts it into, and N takes it out of that mode. Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous trying to play this game and report on it with such very, very poor frame rate, but it is kind of fun. Now remember, I'm an old gamer, been gaming for the better part of 30 years, and in the beginning, this is what frame rates were like when you would play games like Flight Sims. Alright, let's go. I swear it seemed better when I was playing, but I guess 15 frames per second is 15 frames per second. And there we go, we got much smoother as we got this way. And now when we turn around, yep, we get that like 2 frames a second. All right, let's go back to where we came from and go set this thing down, get out and take a look. So let's see how she lands. We're going to try a manual landing this time. Let's get this one in here. Alright, got the N key on. Alright, We'll lift ourselves up a little bit. And there's the landing pad that it assigned us right in front of us. I'm going to go up to it. Come on. Alright, down to 12 frames per second. It did not seem this bad when I was doing it. Okay, we're coming down. Not so bad, right? All of a sudden we got a little bit smoother operation. Right? Trying to line it up. And let's set her down. Now, when you get over the space, shouldn't be that hard to set it down. You're just trying to keep it straight. And right on the numbers. Come on, right on the numbers, Nikki. You could do it. Oh, we missed it. Well, nothing like a 2-star landing when you had 5 stars to give out. But that's the Argo. It's going to be, I guess, $35, maybe a little bit more. And it really won't have a use unless you have a larger ship or just want to have fun around the space stations, or when 3.0 comes out, flying from planet side up to a space station. It might be a little bit more fun. Inside again, and let's go on to the next part of this. Come on, sit down, girl. Sit down. Oh, okay, there you go. Now, this is a ship that you want to buy if you want to fight Vanduul or other people. This, of course, is the Aegis Dynamics Saber, and I love this ship. We're not going to do a review on this ship. All we're going to do is jump in it and go to the next part of this review. Complete. Every time I see this ship, I just fall in love all over again. It's such a wonderful ship. Danger. And for me, you don't even have to change out the main, the default armament just to have a good time in the PU. Especially at 13, 14, or 15 frames per second. It's such a beautiful ship. And there we go. As we go into action. And it's fast, too. So we're going to head off to Grimex. And the way that you do that is you point yourself at the ICC probe and jump to it. Now this is the hard way to do it. The easy way is to fly out to a comm array and become a criminal by turning one off that might be on. And then you could fly to Yella and you'll get a waypoint where you could fly to Grimex. But this is how you fly to Grimex if you want to roleplay being a secret agent that knows that there's something out there but isn't exactly sure where it is. So you fly out to the ICC probe, you listen to Clara, or whatever her name is, Tess, and you kind of say, "See you later, Tess," and go to Yella. So you take off to Yella. And in this situation, I was doing a role play in this particular episode. And what I was role playing is that I was an agent that was trying to find Grimex. So I'd be going. I knew it was over to the right. You could see where it is, where that person is. But I'm making believe I don't know. So in this particular one, I flew straight towards this row of rocks, took out some pirates, and then moved on. And it's just because that's what I wanted to do. And the game is starting to allow us to build that type of fun into it if you want to. For me, roleplay is one of the biggest parts of playing one of Chris Roberts' games. To assume the identity of someone that lives in his universe, because he makes such rich and dynamic, living, breathing universes. It can be fun. So in this situation, I played for a couple of hours, and I flew around Yella. I took out maybe about 6, maybe 8 pirates, and ran away from the rest because, honestly, I didn't want to take my time to keep on fighting them. So let's jump over to where I actually do find Grimex. So here we are about 40 minutes later after taking out, and I counted, it was just around 6 or 8 pirates that I killed. We're coming up on where Grimhex is. I think I called it Grimex before. I apologize for that. But we're going to go to this last little place, this last little vestige, this last little hidden area that I was looking for. And you're going to start to see it off to... Well, I'll let you see it as it comes up so you know what to look for. So we're traveling in Super Cruise mode right now.
Begin scan.
And honestly, I'm going, I think I know where it is. And all of a sudden, you see it? Right there? There's people there. So as you get close, you start to get lock-ons of other people's ships. Now you gotta watch out as you're going there, because there are people that just like to blow everything up there, because most of the landing pads are usually taken every time I've been out here. And the way that people clear a landing pad is they just open fire and kill everything on the pads. I don't find anything wrong with that yet. It is still a beta of an alpha. Or is it an alpha of a beta? It's a beta of an alpha. Now you can start to see how the definition of the base is coming together. There's a bunch of asteroids held together by these rods, right? And it's not rods. They're actually, I guess these spindles are different ways to get into the areas of each one of the asteroids. Honestly, I think that they only model the interior of the center asteroid. So Grimhex is all of these asteroids locked together. Now, the landing here is going to be botched, and I do apologize for it, but I do want you to see this wonderful addition to our game. Now, for those of you that play in the PU, it's going to be a trying experience for the next few months while they're readying 3.0 for deployment. Until then, you'll be dealing with those miserable frame rates that you see up in the left-hand side of the screen. Now, maybe they'll be able to tune it a little bit better than that, and maybe those of you that have amazing connections and amazing processors and graphic cards might get more, but I do not have a bad system. Okay, you can see all those were taken. This is the only one I can land on, so it's a pretty harrowing experience to get down here. And I come down. Okay, lining myself up. Ooh!
Landing complete.
See what I mean?
Launch complete.
That was a horrible shot at landing. But for whatever reason, I didn't blow myself up. And we come over it, and we just set it down. And we're down. Come on, we're down.
Landing complete.
And I don't think we broke the ship in doing that. So I can't wait for the frame rate to return. Now I know that my system can deliver consistently good frame rate when I'm inside the Arena Commander module, where I get a good 60 frames per second average. I've never tried it with desyncing my vertical sync to see what I really get on it. But as I walk around it, doesn't look like it did any damage. Wow, that was pretty wild. But you start to see the detail. And look at this. All this is done without any loading screens. That's the most amazing part of it. Kind of loving this. Ooh, what the hell just happened? And as we look back, you'll see what just happened. You're going to see bits and pieces of Starship raining down. It's probably somebody trying to clear themselves a landing pad. I don't believe they blew my ship up, but at this point, I didn't care. So, I think we can go up this way. And we get up to the next level. And I could have kept going up. Could have kept doing many things. But I'm just going to go inside this other elevator door that I already know of. And hopefully nobody lands on top of me and kills me. And let's go in this way. Okay. So it's probably a good idea to draw a weapon. Because you never know who's going to shoot you. And I didn't draw my weapon. I did, and it takes it right out of your hand the minute you get into the base. Now on the entry point, I guess all these places are going to have people working in them eventually when 3.0 comes out. Right now it's just an empty space station with a couple of people sprinkled in there. Again, the frame rates are horrible because there's a lot of people playing and the netcode stinks. I guess this is like a map that you see inside of a mall that tells you where to go. This is just another way out to another area. And of course a way outside. Not sure what all these spaces are going to be eventually. Oop, I don't know who that was, but he was important. Oh, there's an Argo out there. And we can't make this work. So you won't be able to get in an Argo and come out here, because without a quantum drive, it will take quite a long time. I don't know if anyone's tried it yet. I don't know what the Argo's supercruise speed is, though. Maybe it has no quantum drive, but it really does work fast on a supercruise. So here we are again. Absolutely no loading screens. That's one of the most important parts of this game. Everything works without loading screens at all. Okay, we've got to make this work. Let's move back a little bit. There we go. Oh. And we start going down, and now we're down to 10 frames per second, 12, 13, 11. And we're on the main level. So on this level, this is where you'll find your berthing compartments. This is where you'll find your shops. Hopefully a bar at some point, which it looks like you can drink outside here. I found this little place. It's a great place to get some... I guess this is like the best attire in the game at this point. Again, frame rates were sucky. I do apologize for that. I did my best as we just stand here and stare at one or two things. These are like the t-shirts I talked about that are modeled after like concert t-shirts. Some guy strung out on meth over here, just sitting here looking around. I guess he lives back there and he drinks a lot of beer and just lives like a disgusting. And he reads a lot of porn magazines, it seems. Got boots, pretty cool looking. I don't know how he affords all this stuff. Really cool jacket. Yeah, this is it. This is what's going to be inside of the PU as soon as version 2.5 lands. So I didn't want to give you like this grand tour. I just wanted to give you my idea of what I was seeing inside here. Again, this is what I was talking about. No lighting over here, but looks like a place to drink. I'm pretty excited about where the game is going to go, and I'll do a little video about how 3.0 is going to change everything we know about Star Citizen. Well, not change it, but make it much better. And until then, I want to leave you with this. It's still fun to go in the PU, regardless of how slow and how rotten the frame rate is. You could still have an amazing time. And I flew around here for quite some time today, and this whole thing was me saying, all right, what am I doing? I'm trying to find where these pirates are coming from, and I took on that persona of this secret agent, what do you want to call him? This marshal that was looking for where they came from. And this is where I ended it. And I'm going to go back in and play the game and pick it up right from where I left off. Because I think that you, like I said, you could still have fun in the PU. Well, folks, that's what I got for you today. And with that said, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.